Good morning, friends. Dr. Johnson here with a few things on my mind. Still fighting these damn people, man. It's a damn shame that I'm caught up in one of the most corrupt schemes, I believe, in VA history. And this scheme is not only trying to kill me, but this scheme is a scheme that could have and may have killed many before me. You wonder why your veterans' suicide rate is so high? Well, let me tell you. In 1976, I was injured jumping out of airplanes. In my medical record, everything substantiated. So by jumping out of that aircraft, I must have developed PTSD then because I told them motherfuckers, I'm not jumping out your goddamn airplanes no more. Because they got up there doing that same old racist ass bullshit. Because after I jumped out of that airplane, got injured, I went AWOL. A damn totally disciplined soldier went AWOL. Told the commander to kiss my ass. I got reduced in rank from E4 to E3. I told that motherfucker, I said, not only I'm jumping out of your airplane, I ain't going to the field with you motherfuckers no more. I said, because I'm not going to train with you if I can't fucking fight with you. And I told him that, goddamn it, I say right now I only had like about 9 months to a year left in the Army on a 3-year tour. So I told him, I say, look at here, man. I said, I'm not fucking with you, Captain. I said, I'm not doing shit for you. You know, I said, goddamn, you motherfuckers can put me out. And I was serious a motherfucker. These are things that PTSD will do. It'll have you change shit that you used to do professionally, you don't do no more. When I got hurt jumping out of that airplane, it changed me. It changed me in a whole lot of ways. So I was trying to get this damn, what they called back then, Chapter 5, was a discharge, general discharge. And the colonel must have seen the professional excellence in me. Even as a PFC, after I done lost a rank, the colonel said, no, I can't let you go out the military like that, and you got such a little bit of time left, you know. And he said, damn, he said, and you ain't got enough time for me to send you nowhere. Because I was running down, I was less than a year left. So I just sat around the company. Commander didn't fuck with me no more, because the colonel told him to leave him alone. And the colonel got me transferred to Fort Raleigh, Kansas. Now, when I got that transfer to Fort Raleigh, Kansas, all my buddies talking about, yeah, your mop done overrode your ass now. You going to Leavenworth. They had a retraining brigade at Fort Riley. And, you know, but also out in Kansas, there's Leavenworth, you know, which is the federal prison for federal violations. So I went to Fort, what the fuck? Goddamn, he's Fort Riley, yeah. I went to Fort Riley. And when I got to Fort Riley, you know, being a paratrooper, PFC, just got recently busted. But my pride was still high because I was so impressed on how the colonel got me to fuck up out of there when he said that no one has ever done this in such a less time. But the colonel got me to Fort Riley, Kansas. I went there as a PFC. While out in the field training, we were being observed by general officers. The platoon sergeant came over there and asked the then commissioned officers, say, look here, I need a couple of you guys to lead these fire teams in the pit so that the generals can observe the type of motherfuckers we are in the 1st Infantry Division. So none of these NCOs volunteered. Old PFC Johnson did. I said, hey, sir, I said, I can run the motherfucker. I said, I'm from the 82nd Airborne Division. I'm cross-training all areas. I said, for as running a team, hell, that's small time to me. And hell, he gave me a shot. And I ran that team. That general he was so damn happy. He was what you call it, tickle pink, so to speak. And he wanted to know who that motherfucker was leading these people in hostile conditions, because we was on the explosives and all that shit. He said, oh, that's PFC Johnson, a new man from the 82nd Airborne Division. And that motherfucker, he must have fell in love with me, because when I got up to the hill, back up on the hill from out of the pits, the platoon sergeant told me, say, PFC Johnson, you are now Bravo team leader, first squad. I said, what the fuck? And there was PFCs there that was waiting to get that position, hoping that they can make you forward to get it. I was just a PFC, and my data rank was lower than theirs because I got reduced in rank. But God is good. I got that position. The commander, they begged me to reenlist. Said if I reenlist, he said, I know the infantry is a bitch. He said, but you reenlist, we'll put you over in the MP company, JOT. That's our on-the-job training. We do that for 90 days, then you acquire the MOS. But I had bitch problems. I had an ex-wife that was draining me money. This bitch would not take her knee off my neck. So I figured if I got out the Army and rejoined, maybe I can dust this hoe off. But no, I couldn't dust her off. But she was getting my money for the last 6 months of my career at that time. It's back in the 70s. I got on out. And I tried to reenlist the next week. Could not come in because I didn't have no high school diploma. Now that's just how far God has brought me from. Now high school diploma is low education for me. I have a doctorate degree today after going through all that hell. See, when there's one set of footsteps in that sand, you don't need to feel that you're all alone, because those footsteps are not yours. When God is carrying you, all you're going to see is one set of footsteps. And God has been taking me ever since 1955. My mission was to help my mama get through her addiction. She lost all her kids. They was in orphanage, and all of them was taken from her except for me. I believe that God has put me in my mama's life to bring her through her afflictions. I didn't realize this until I got much older, and I started looking back, trying to find out why me. And that's when I found my purpose. My purpose have not changed, even as today. My mama did stop drinking alcohol. My mom did get a few more years to live, years that she wouldn't have had she not stopped drinking that liquor. And I tell you, I love that woman to death. I remember when her kids were gone, I didn't know I had brothers and sisters, but me and that woman been through hell and high water during Jim Crow. I mean, she was not only a mother, but she was a father as well. Because my father was dead ever since I was somewhat a toddler. So I don't remember him. And God has brought me all the way up to this far now. I'm being fucked with like a motherfucker right now. If I was suicidal, I would have done it already. Because the hell that I'm catching, for no white man can stand. They would have killed themselves because of black people fucking with them at the level that white folks are fucking with me. But like I told the secretary in the letter that I sent to the VA this morning, because the VA gave a white woman $55,000 of my money. Oh man, I know motherfuckers dying for less. And I know that when you got that kind of money, there's kickback somewhere. Why would someone violate the Veterans Administration laws just to fuck a black man? It's all about money. Them motherfuckers knew I was on owed more than $1 million in my disability appeal. They start they sabotaging of my appeal in 2018. But it actually started when I put this claim in 2013. I was a paratrooper that got hurt jumping on the Canadian border in a blizzard. Y'all know what a blizzard is. When the aircraft doors opened, I knew we was in for some shit. The snow from that blizzard started coming inside the aircraft door as we opened it, preparing to jump. The airplane was hitting pockets, like pockets we never felt before. But who were we? I'm just a goddamn specialist. I can't question these motherfucking leaders. I can't tell them, hey, we need an airline. No. When that motherfucker gave the command, stand up, we got to follow it. Hook up, stand in the door. And when that motherfucking green light came on, go, 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 we all hit that fucking door. I didn't ask why. If anything, I would have asked was how high. But when I jumped out of that aircraft, utilizing a T-10 parachute, that's the one without the target lines. For the Dash 10, the T-10, what that other one, Dash, I forgot what the fuck it was, but it's the one with the target lines. We didn't have that kind. So when I got out there, I knew it was going to be hell. Normally when you jump out of the aircraft, the way we do, you'll start to descend downward at somewhat like a 45-degree angle. But when I hit that aircraft door, it was no 45-degree angle. My body was kind of level with the plane, but descending a little bit, just enough to miss that goddamn little, I guess, the tail back there, because those planes are designed for us to jump out, but they're not designed for us to jump in a fucking blizzard. But I got past that because nobody wants to get hung up on the aircraft, because when you get hung up, if your motherfucking deployment bag did not come out of that damn bag, they got the airline with your ass on the outside of the airplane. And you know when we jump at 120 miles an hour. That's 120 knots. Because they slow the aircraft down just for the troopers to exit the aircraft. But when I hit that ground, it was a great impact. Came in on a rear parachute landing fall. That's coming in backward. So I pulled my risers, tried to, but they wouldn't give because the wind was so strong. So all I can do was take the descent and the impact as I was coming down on a sheet of ice. While coming down, I couldn't help but notice my fellow troopers was down there in blood because that ice was cutting them as they hit the ground. I just knew shit wasn't going to look for me, but I just tried to make the best parachute landing fall that I ever done in my life. That wasn't good enough. I crashed and burned. Got drugged for bottom out. I wouldn't have got drugged that far if I'd have cut my chute loose like I wanted to, but by training, we are trained to let your buddies collapse at first, because we're not the only ones on that drop zone. Because inside that damn parachute harness, where the parachute hooks up to the harness, is a thick piece of metal, and it clamps inside of a clamp. All I had to do was open that clamp and release that chute. But by doing that, it exposed my fellow troopers to a hazardous situation. If that metal hit one of them, in the head or anywhere, more than likely it's going to kill them or leave them in some leave them with very grave injuries. So they finally collapsed my chute. I got up being a young man. I think I just turned, I was just 20. Got up, I noticed my damn back and my ankle wasn't right, But I didn't hesitate. I went on into sick call. It got documented in my record. And that was in 1976. I haven't jumped since. That shit turned me the fuck completely around. So while I'm up there going through all these years of degradation, I got out in 1977. They didn't give me shit. Nothing for high blood pressure, nothing for flat feet, none of that shit. And I had them. But they didn't give me shit, the VA. So I went through hell and high water for approximately about 20 months. And when I was out, while out 20 months, I done one great thing while being out, and that was save a little baby in a burning inferno. Nobody else would go in there. I was over in the next house raking my aunt's yard. They had us rake these yards. I don't know what our people was wild motherfucker. Had me raking a yard with nothing but dirt. But they loved to see the damn dirt with these little rake lines in it, like a motherfucker done something. But when I seen the flame of my neighbor's house at the windows, because the curtains was on fire like shit too, something took me and I jumped over that fence and I seen all them crying and shit. And I went in. Not by my own motivation. I went in that damn house. And the house was a 6-room house. It was 3 on one side and 3 on the other. I checked out the ones on the side to which I went in on. Didn't see nothing. So I went on the other side where the bedrooms were. I checked that back bedroom. I mainly was looking at the bed to make sure, to see was there's a body in the bed. Because if a body was in the bed, everything on fire, I needed to get the hell out. So I was in there, and one thing I found out, that fire is a living thing. That fire was reaching down at me, trying to get me, and the most of me it was able to get was swings in my hair. As I started to exit the house, I heard the cry of a child. She was in the bedroom that I was about to fucking go out the doors because the heat was getting so hot. I went in there, I grabbed her little ass, got her under my arm, and I stayed low because that's how the smoke bees in a burning inferno. And that smoke actually is combustible. That smoke, if it would have lit, it would have been flammable. But I stayed low. I mean, God took care of me and that baby. And I brought that baby out of that house. That was one of my best friends, baby. And I know that would have tore her up if to lost that child. I don't think she ever had any more kids. But I had a privilege to meet this child. She was around about 40 years old. And, she was so grateful. Her mama done told her so much. And the thing is, it kind of made me feel good. I mean, it was better than any presidential award. No president could have gave me the thrill that I had, such as these people thanking me for the life that I've saved. But I only saved that life because God saved her. God used me to do his dealing, because that child would have burned and died And the only way that he could have done other than me is because he could have did something so miraculous that not even man would have understood. He could have made that fire just went completely out, but so he just let it burn, and he sent old Sergeant Johnson, who just got out of the military, especially Johnson then, and sent him in there, and he got that child. That was in between the time I got out of the military. That was between the time, as a matter of fact, to tell you exactly when it was, in 1977. It was in 1977 I done that. Most time when a motherfucker do something as heroic that, they get recognized. I didn't get no recognition. I turned down a couple soldier medals prior to that for saving people because I didn't feel like it was nothing to be awarded for saving a life. I felt like saving lives was our responsibility. So right now, I'm in the biggest fight of my life. No matter how much I've done good, the devil is going to constantly fuck with me. But I'm going to still hold on. I got white folks that took $55,000 from me. Now they're trying to fucking force me to suicide. They see I won't break. Before this thing, then these motherfuckers at the VA, this is the biggest conspiracy of corruption I ever seen in my life, and I'm caught up in it. I got white supremacy motherfuckers that got my money and telling me what the fuck they gonna do. And that don't resonate well with me. God blessed me, although I dropped out of school in 10th grade. God blessed me to maintain my faculties where I was able to obtain a GED while out. That's the only way I was able to get back in. I thought about going to Penn State University since I was a Vietnam era veteran and my benefits was already earned. Well, I miss those old details we used to do. Police calls, ain't that a bitch? I miss police calls. I miss being with the fellas as we walk, picking up cigarette butts and trash and shit, and we just be talking a bunch of shit, just joking, having fun. I miss that. So I went back in the U.S. Army. I made a promise to myself I won't get out this motherfucker ever again without some form of pension. Because even while I was out, I lived from pillar to post. Even while I was out, I didn't eat food of my own earnings. I had to eat food of other people's earnings. And when you're doing that, these people look at you like you shit. But I went on and stuck it out because I was never a bad person. Back then they used to say, oh, that's Nutty Buddy. He's a good boy. I would. Because I've always been good. Because my purpose was known more by God than ever known by me. But it took me to become a more older man to realize my purpose. And I normally bring joy to people's lives. I mean, if I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. But it's bad to see these people coming at me now. I know how Jesus felt to give these people your all, and the best they can give you is an execution, a crucifixion. Good people are nothing more than a lamb for the wolves. And many people in your circle are wolves in sheep clothing. And they're just waiting on you to let your guards down. I say unto you, don't ever take your eyes off the Lord. And as long as you stay focused on the Lord gonna always have you covered. Because no harm can come to you when God put that veil of protection over you. You're going to find that when God is in your life, you're going to be doing things that normal men would not do. There was no fireman would go in that motherfucker. They were just going to let it burn, baby, burn. But there was a child inside there. I mean, had I have been my own self, I'd have been around there with them just as scared, looking at the fire burn, saying, damn, it's Shane that baby up in there. No, that was not the dude I was that day. Actually, I was a damn hero. But when you're a black hero, you're still a black zero. But anyway, I was not looking for awards because my awards come from heaven. And I'm so glad that I saved that child. I'm so glad that if I die today or tomorrow, somebody's going to remember me for the rest of their lives because I done something great. I done something spiritual. I went in and I seen the life of that fire. As it reached down for me, I seen a hand. I'm not lying to y'all. If the dead can tell you what they've been through, if they died of a traumatic experience, they would tell you things like I'm telling you now. When it's about your time, you're going to see shit you never seen before. When it's about your time, you're going to see the Spirit have you do things you never done before. Because when you live your life, and I wasn't living so much for God because I didn't know God the way I know God now. But I knew God knew me all of my days. And I'm so thankful for his observing and protection of me. I've done some, not wild things, but I've done some great things being operational for the Army. I rappel down mountains. I climb up them. I swim across gator-infested or caiman-infested rivers, like the Chagres River in Panama, full of so many caimans, man. I mean, it make you don't even want to go in the water. But I done went across them too, the river crossings, in the water, without any repellent for caiman, because caiman are much smaller than the alligator, but they still can drown you or kill you or eat you up. So I went through all that. And while in the jungle, I went across something like a little ditch, real little ditch. And when I stepped in that little ditch, I felt no bottom. It just went straight down. And moving in the jungle at night, we have to hold on to each other's web belt because the visibility is so slim, is zero actually. The darkest place in the world is in the jungle. And the only things we have with those ranger tabs we had on the back of our helmets, well, actually on our helmet band that hold our camouflage down. And that's the only thing that we had for us reflection. But whenever the moonlight can't get in that damn jungle, because of that damn, what you call it? I forgot what they call it, but that's when the tree lines. We got a name for it. You can't hardly see them fuckers. I had to really focus on trying to see the person in front of me. So that's why we have to hold on to the web belt. We hold on to the web belt too. In the jungle, while you're walking, the whole ground can go out from under you because your ass just went and walked off a cliff. And we held on that web gear to make sure we don't lose a man. So I told y'all a little bit of my situation here and the service that I've given this country for more than 20 years now. And not only have I served in the military, I served at federal government as well, and I retired from there as well. No matter all my goodness, I still can't escape evil. When they're supposed to be helping me, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, they gave me the most wicked bitch I think on earth. That's the bitch that stole my $55,000. That's the bitch that's getting all the praise that for the work that I've done. And she just sitting around like a goddamn little plantation bitch. But I'm supposed to be her nigga that was lent out So I lend him to your military. Give me his back pay. No, bitch, I don't belong to you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I went 30 minutes. I hope y'all enjoyed the presentation that I've given about my service to this country. It go deeper than that. That was just a little shadow overview of the greatness that I've done in this world, in this life. It ain't just about this military. It's all about God's will. And I hope there's some people out there now, if you're going through hell and high water, it's only because God sees something down the road that you're going to have to be prepared for. And even today, I'm prepared. A white man can't do what I do and still call himself a child of God, because he would commit suicide. When people commit suicide, they can't be buried on holy ground. A lot of cemeteries put their ass on the outside of the cemetery wall because they won't let them in there. Suicide, you might figure it's helping the motherfucker, or you all that may contemplate it. I'm going to tell you, suicide is not the answer. If you can't stand it in the physical world, you won't be shit in the spiritual. Because when you do away with your physical attributes, you destroy the work of God. And that go to show you're not satisfied with the greatest gift that he's ever given you. And that's life. Life is the Holy Ghost. Life is the spirit within all men. You've heard it from Dr. Johnson. I'd like to thank y'all for your time. And the thing is, I love all y'all, to include the Chinese man. And something crossed my heart too. I was thinking about this situation. We got to boycott them now. We got to boycott them. They can't get another damn dollar. But the thing is, we don't have to hate them to boycott them. Let them talk that shit. That's all they can do is talk. For the Chinese that's talking shit because you want to do the boycott, that's within your right. If you did a boycott against a white man in America, you do a boycott against any other motherfucker in America that's trying to act like him. Now, you continue your boycott. Don't worry about they talk about their little places in your thing. Stop buying that fucking fried rice. You want to know how to read fried rice? Then goddamn contact some of my buddies down there in the low country of South Carolina. Damn Chinese can't do no more with rice than us Geechers. We know how to fry that shit too. And we've been eating it all our lives, but we never called it fried rice. Anytime you put eggs with rice, it's considered fried rice. All you had to do was add onions, maybe some sweet peas, or any other kind of vegetables you want to put in that rice. So stop spending money with that ass. Buy your bag of chicken wing. You want chicken wing? Get chicken wing, and you're going to have to buy some of that shit out of the store. But that shit that you're getting out of the store is imported actually from China. So it's coming from China, which we might have to cut ties with their ass because the way they're training their people, they hate black people. This time black people flip the script and start fucking them up rather than letting them fuck up our children. Parents, keep up with your children because minding them will save their lives. You know, ain't no telling how many kids died under Epstein and his company because they was fucking these kids at an astronomical rate. Children don't understand sex, but grown motherfuckers do. And they took advantage of those children. Every one of them motherfuckers is going to suffer the wrath of the Lord. Because what you sent those children through was pure fucking hell, you demons. I'd like to thank you for your time. And if I feel like coming back on here, you'll see me again. But as I sit here going through the abuse that I'm going through, I'm a damn successful military retired veteran. Totally disabled. And not disabled because of my disabilities. You know, yeah, I mean, my career that I made is not because of my disabilities. But it's because of my disability that made my career more challenging. I didn't go up in the ranks as high as I wanted to because of that damn medical injury, that airborne injury I sustained, causing injury to my left ankle and my lower back. In that jump, the psychiatrist said that I would develop post-traumatic stress disorder, and that was found out in 2013. I was supposed to have been paid all the way back to 1977, the first time I put in. These white fuckers won't do right, but that's all right. That's okay. Because see, if I went and tried to take vengeance, they're going to lock me up and do me like they did Jesus. They're going to kill me. So all I got to do is just sit back here and wait on the Lord, because each one of those involved in trying to destroy me, God got their number. And you have to think that way sometime. Now, parents, if somebody kill your child, I am from the same God that Abraham, Isaac, Job are from. I go all the way back before Jesus was ever crucified. That's just the way my spirit takes me now. Many times I can tell you things of the Bible, and I never read the Bible through its entirety. But I can tell you things about the gospel that not any minister on this planet can tell you about that same gospel. Just because I can't get no affirmation from another man don't mean that what I'm telling you is not true. Because I know things that most mortal men just simply don't know. As an angel of God, hey, I continue to be that good man because my goodness is my strength. All right? So if y'all ain't done nothing, and in closing, I quit high school, I got a doctorate degree, all of you can come up. I don't come up with that shit about, oh, my mama was an addict. No, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean you let her go. That mean that you come closer as a family. You save those who addicted to anything and bring them back to God. Because an addiction will take you off the path of the Lord. But what makes addictions more complicated is the way that man treat those who are addicted to anything. They treat you like dirt. Thank you. Peace.